Brimley's ghost is literally hovering over me right now. He's like, do you have diabetes? Oh, there goes my foot.
Just fell off.
Just fell right off. Oh, there goes my foot. What's up, everybody? This is Anthony.
Matt.
This is Asked Amp episode 57? 8? Always one off. Always one
On
off.
purpose.
But anyways, yeah, it's a question and answer show where we take your questions that you submit down below in the doobly-doo, or on the Facebook post where this is, and we answer them as honestly and forthrightly as we can. Well,
Or as sarcastically.
well, there's a lot of sarcasm. Well, that's the thing about honesty.
Mainly sarcasm.
That's the thing about honesty that people don't realize is that, like, if you want me to be honest, but then you say something dumb, I'm gonna be mean to you, like, because you're gonna think that my honesty is being mean when it's really just honesty. But anyway, so it's a question and answer show. Somehow we still have jobs, and we're just gonna keep doing this until we get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Draw the first question, sir.
Sorry, we're in a sugar coma. One of our bros sent us an illegal amount of sugar. And we have no self-control.
Zero self-control.
Everything hurts.
Literally,
right
since
now.
I've sat down like 5 minutes ago, I've already eaten like 15 Starbursts. Like, and I'm not even eating them one at a time. I'm eating them twofer. I'm literally sticking two of them. I'm gluing two of them together with their own sugar.
We'll post on the amped AEG when our funerals are.
And like you just shove them together like that, and then you get a cornucopia of flavor. Like that.
So fucking gross. Airsoft with Austin. Okay, so looking back on how long you've played, how far you've really come. When I first started, I wore jeans, Nike runners, and a baseball cap. Rarely used iPro.
Ooh.
Man, that was a dipshit move, even at 11 years old. Glad you can admit that. Now I wear full camo, sidearms, plate carriers, and such. And I was just kind of wondering, when you started, did you dive in head first, or did you start out like a noob? Secondly, do you remember the first time you played, and who had brought you out to the field, or blah blah blah, whatever? Thanks in advance. Keep up the great show. I dove in.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I dove right in. This was back when Facebook actually didn't exist yet, or at least to someone who didn't have a .edu email.
Yeah, because back in the day, Facebook, you used to have to actually be a part of a college to get on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't open to everybody. So like when Facebook first came out, like you had to be enrolled in college.
Yeah. So I used Airsoft Ohio forums, RIP.
Rest in pepperonis. Pepperoni.
I met a couple guys up in northern Ohio that were like half an hour away from my my hometown, and
The rest is history.
I was 14, so of course my dad was like, "What the hell are you doing?" So we show up at this, now one of my lifelong buddies. We show up at his the field that they play at, and like they're coming off the field, and like my dad always described this so vividly. Like these dudes are all coming out in like full camo, like all black gear. Because a lot of them were like cops right now, so they had like kind of law enforcement based gear. So they come out of the woods. It's in the middle of the fall. He's like, "What the hell are you getting into?" Over a decade later, yeah, I kind of dove in head first. I bought a TM M4A1 before I even showed up to that, and I had a Blackhawk vest already. I had Alice gear. I stupidly as well was using Oakley ski goggles as iPro.
Not ANZ rated.
Do not use Oakley ski
Do not
goggles.
use Oakley ski goggles.
I found them in my gear locker over the weekend. There's like holes punched in them from like cracking.
Also, the like dust goggles that you see on like Black Hawk Down.
No.
Don't wear those either. Also not ANZ
The
rated.
GI.
Well,
OG
the floppy ones
yeah.
with the foam on them.
No.
Mm-mm. Don't do that.
I did buy the Oakleys because of Black Hawk Down. Sadly.
A lot of people did.
I bought most of my kit, and everything was Black Hawk Down for like 5 years. That movie changed everyone.
It did. It was one of the like the movies that made me think I wanted to be in the military.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd say I dove in.
Me on the other hand, like I was nearing the end of my enlistment.
Mm-hmm. So you're 21, 22? No, you're 20 something.
It's 8 years ago. I'm 32 now. So it's 24. I was 24 at the time.
Still older than all these kids.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And got Starburst stuck in my teeth. Sorry. So I was nearing the end of my enlistment, and I was just researching guns because I thought it looked cool. I saw some videos of Scout the Doggies.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I saw some old Irene footage of like the very first Irenes where dudes were like at Zussman, and I had been to Zussman for training before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been there. That's fun.
What are these dweebs doing there?
What are they doing? Oh, that guy shouldn't be wearing that. That's way too small for him.
Yeah.
And like, you know, just general like internet trolling.
Yeah.
But so I was researching guns and I bought my GMP. I was actually thinking of getting one of these at the VFC.
Way back in the day.
This exact gun actually, and then lo and behold, it has come full circle. I'm now getting one now.
We're stocking up on them when they're kind of not cool anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting them for a steal, dude.
But yeah. Did you consider yourself a noob or no when you dove in?
Well, when I dove in, I obviously had training on how to do all of the basic stuff, like how to move through the woods and like how to like shoot and move. So what I did was I showed up with like a lot of my issued kit.
Yeah.
Which was all ACU. And then I also went to Airsoft Ohio first.
Yeah.
Found a place to play, which was some dude's random farm near Massillon, Ohio, that he allowed paintballers and airsofters to come play at.
Mm-hmm.
And he would let them alternate weekends. So it would be paintballers who would be living local, who'd come out and play woods ball out there one weekend, and then the next weekend would be us. And that's how I met a lot of my Ohio friends from Airsoft, was at that place, actually. That's how I met, like, Pat and Casey.
Have a name?
Pat had a name on Airsoft.
No, the field. I can't remember if that has a name or not.
It did. It was like something farm. It was what people used to call it. And it was actually, like, all the games were ran by a small team in the Canton, Akron, Massillon area that I think has... Only soon after that, those games actually disbanded. So, like, I didn't know them for very long. But, yeah, I used to love to go out there because it was only, like, 30 minutes from my apartment.
Mm.
And he would only charge you, like, $10 for all day.
There you go.
And you'd give, like, $5. So you'd pay $15 because you'd give $5 to the team of dudes who were running it. So they'd keep you organized and bring all their props and stuff. Yeah. And it was a good time. And I slowly, as I... was in there, I slowly started replacing all of my issued gear with stuff I was buying for myself, because literally, like, when you get out of the military, everything just gets yanked out of you. So, like, they just take everything back. So, like, I had to replace it all.
Yeah. So
that's what I ended up doing. Right, I showed up with all my issued gear. You know, like not the TAPS rack, but the, like, the load-bearing vest that goes over the OTV, an OTV, an ACH. Like, I had all that stuff on. And I replaced it all with, like, stuff that I'd bought. But, yeah, I jumped right in, too. My first gun was a GMP. I didn't buy any, like, cheap stuff. And then, like, I didn't know anybody.
You didn't really have the option then.
No, there was no, like... Echo One had only just started existing around then.
Yeah.
And companies like Echo One. So, like, you basically, like, you had to buy, like, a $400, $500 gun. That was just what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't know anybody who played Airsoft. I just wanted to do it. And I bought my GMP Mark 18, and I thought it was cool, and it was just fun to dink around with, and I was like, I should go, like, try to play at one of these. So then I met all of my Airsoft friends going there. I didn't know anybody beforehand. No one got me into it. I just kind of did it myself. So, yeah, that was brief history of Matt and Anthony, circa 2008, and what, 6 for you?
4.
4? Yeah. I was on deployment then when you were getting into it, if it was 04.
Yeah. Because I was in middle school still. I was like coming in 9th grade or something like that.
Yeah, I was on deployment still in 04.
Mm-hmm.
Everyday Soldier. Hey guys, I was traveling in Europe and the UK and coordinated me getting to play at Section 8 Airsoft with Scout the Doggy. Makes most of his videos. Speak of the devil.
This one has a good one at the end, I think.
Video there, and they got me into Airsoft. Same. One thing I noticed right away was how nice everyone is there. As soon as I mentioned I was from Canada, Paul, the Section 8 owner, pulled me aside and introduced me privately to all of the celebrities of Scouts videos. I had a meet and greet even with and got some of the S8 patches. I did nothing for these people besides counseling plastic with them. My question is, what is the nicest community you've come across? I think it may be the Scots are nice in general, but I like to hear who you think are comparable. Thanks, much love from the Snow Mexicans. Canada immigration website crash. Canada's going to build their own wall here pretty quick. Grow up protesting won't change it. Dildos to a gunfight. So that's funny.
It's knives?
So The nicest airsoft community still that I have.
I already know your answer, I bet.
It's easy. The nicest airsoft community I have yet been to in America, because I haven't traveled outside of America yet for BBwarzing. I'm not that special.
Yeah.
Still, has to be the Ballahack area. Like, those dudes are so nice. And then also I would give a good approximation to the southern hospitality of the people who live and play near Shelby.
I was gonna say it's a draw between those two. I think the South is very.
And I think it's my positive memories of the Shelby area don't even have to do with the airsoft players, because the events I've been to down there were NatOps and people bring attitudes with them to NatOps.
Yeah.
But like it was the surrounding just general area. Like everywhere I went there, everyone's like, "Hi, how you doing?" Yeah. And then like Ballahack, the players are all really nice because they know they can't really screw up there because if they do, they have nowhere else to play. So all of them are always on their best behavior for the most part. Yeah. Like they don't mess up because they can't.
Yeah.
If they do, they don't get to play anymore.
Ashley Tapper. Hey guys, why so much hate for the L85? I like how Ant. Do you like Tony or Ant worse?
My name is Anthony. So I like all forms of not Anthony equally with hate. Like I level the same amount of hate at every single one of them.
That's gonna fucking 59 is just gonna blow apart now.
Ugh.
I love how Ant turns a little crazy about punctuation. I feel the same way when you use adjectives to describe a verb. You cannot play good, you can play well. P.S. Open up a UK-EU branch so myself and the rest of the team can support you without paying through the R's for shipping. Hashtag eat pasta, kill Fasta.
I like that.
Fast. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that was just a statement. It's my French.
Why the hate for the L85?
Yeah, that was the question.
So, I just went down the wrong pipe.
You're watching his death happen right now.
Oh, Starbursts, why?
Stop putting them together.
Oh, they're so good.
Save me a couple of the orange ones.
Oh,
I like
it brought a tear to my eye. Anyway, so why the hate for the L85? My first experience with the L85 came from when I was real one.
Yeah.
And it came from my time in the Army. During a training cycle, they had what was called like a weapons day, and they just had all kinds of different weapons from all over the world. They just kind of let people like fire a few rounds at them, just kind of like you just kind of walked up to the bench. They gave you a mag that had like anywhere from a full mag to like 5 to 10 rounds,
depending on how expensive they were.
Depending on how expensive it was, and they just let you go to town. And I got up to the L85, and I could not get it to work. I could not I put the mag in. I charged it. It wouldn't go into battery. I'd pull the mag out. It would the bolt would like fold the round. It'd like bend the tip of it up. So I'm like, well, can't use this one now. I think, and then like when I'd fire it, it would fire one round and then it would just jam. Then they were like, oh, we can't use regular American magazines. We have to use the special British for like the H&K steel magazine for this. And then it still didn't work. So I literally only got to fire like 2 rounds out of it consecutively that worked. And the controls are all dumb, and they don't like they're all in bad. Like
when's Britain switching to the 416?
Well, most of Europe is already doing this, and this is basically what we use. Like, come on, just do it. It's easy. Use your. And I'm sorry for the guys who corrected me. You're right. It was the 119. Is the
there were
M4.
like 8, there were like 8 dudes.
Like
there,
the M4. Sorry, I don't give a shit about what foreign countries call their weapons. I just know that
it's an M4.
It's an M4 with a different barrel. Sorry, it's still an M4. Like here, we'd call that an AR-15 if it was a civilian model, or an M4 if it was a military one. That's it. But anyways, like you guys really need to dump that L85. It's kind of a piece of poo. You really just need to get rid of it. The airsoft ones, the hop-ups are kind of meh. They still have all the same stupid controls because it's modeled after the real gun.
Yeah, I don't like all the linkages you have to have for the trigger and
shit. The triggers are terrible. Like they never have great alignment. And there's only like 1 or 2 of them that are serviceable and usable, and that's like the ICS ones. Mm-hmm. Those are the only ones that are okay. The G&G ones had this like goofy linkage in them that would like be a blowback thing, and that always broke and jammed up in something. And then there was like the Army ones were terrible. Like just use ARs. Use ARs. They're so much better.
KHF09. Hey Amp. Hey, what's up, Amp Dudios? Would you guys ever run a German kit? Nah. It would be cool. It's just that's one that like it's NATO but you have to go so specific with a lot of stuff because like they have all of their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a very huge buy-in. The guys that do it properly, it looks fucking awesome though.
Shout out to a group of dudes. I don't know if you guys are following them, but a lot of them went to a few of the MSATO events regularly, and they also go to they went to AOV in Ohio.
Yeah.
With their Instagram is Staten Group.
Staten Group.
It's Staten Group, and then
stop pronouncing it because
I know. And then there's also if there's also a buy sell trade group specifically for German kit stuff, and it's called the German Gucci Gang on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes, almost all the dudes in there are hyper friendly, and a lot of those dudes have like legit like cry everything flex harm.
Kits are hot.
It's very cool. It's just not. My thing is I'm just not really. You want to know what the biggest turnoff is actually? I hate G36s almost as much as I hate L85s. They're marginally better performance-wise and durability than an L85, but I just don't like them either.
Don't they use 416s?
They kinda, some of them do.
Just buy a G28.
Yeah, I'll just buy a G28 and then curse my existence for how expensive it is. Yeah, definitely don't like G36s though.
No. So, we haven't done this in a long time. Put that back. 5-minute frenzy.
Oh, go! 5-minute frenzy. Okay. Isaac Barbarossa. Hey, Amp, I love the content. Those goldfish Anthony's munching on look tasty. Are they available on your site? More seriously, you guys are awesome. Keep keeping on. Thanks, man. David Doney. Oh, wow, that's hard. I don't even know what that is. I don't like looking at Matt's face without glasses. That's not nice at all. Sherman Da Vinci. What gun do you identify as? I identify as anything that works. Cheese. Robert Nooney, I just finished saying I wish they would upload an Ask Amp today. Well, guess what? Back when you wrote that, it was applicable, but it isn't now. Luke PRTR, hi. Nate Lee, I got first. That's new. Sucks. Shrid Boy, yeah.
Yas.
Yas. Spectre Airsoft Team, ooh, just by the title, Gabubber discrimination getting triggered-ree.
Gabubber.
Pat Phoenix, don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. That's fine. You're right. I'm not. That's just a suggestion. Matt K. Ham, do you know of an easy way to back off the Crytek stock without killing your fingers? Mine keeps getting stuck. Thanks. I'd get man hands. I don't know. Airsoft 316 Jared, when is Anthony's MSW kit part 2? Ask Matt, because he's editing it, not me. Jeremy Miller, can I buy the Zipman? No. OP Airsoft, Pleb to Pro, make NATO great again. It's called just stop showing up to MSW games and sucking. That's what
We're working on it.
Ben Jimbo, Anthony, can you validate my purchase? Please tell me I bought good gun. Warren Claus, grab her by the kitty. Violated rights, what are your opinions towards system of PTWs? They're cool, but they're too expensive, and they break a lot. Delaware Milsim, not much of a question, just wanted to say I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at Rev 7. I might disappoint you because we might not be going.
Sorry.
Blake Pope, why tar? Unhappy smiley cry guy. Me wants shiny Magpul products because you shouldn't live in a country without freedom. Lewis Stonehouse, why did Anthony think the L115A3 wasn't a sniper rifle? Because I don't know your stupid British names for things. Sorry. James Kovla, Anthony, what was your ASVAB score? I got perfect. I actually did get a perfect score on the ASVAB. PC Gaming Master Race, what is your plate care here Anthony is wearing? That's super special and you don't get to know the name of it yet. But it's right there though. Let's see here. Sep, just got my hands on Swedish M90, super stoked. Kind of jelly. I got Norwegian camo recently and I was okay. I'm pretty cool with that. Yeah. Winther, so what's up with the extra ranty and offensive Tony today? Smiley stick out tongue, #re, I hate hashtags, and grab them by the pussy. You can't say that, that's offensive. I'm offensive because you're soft. Overkill Luke, don't come to Florida to play. There is nothing big and important down here. It's just really fucking hot. Thanks for the warning. Noted, not doing it.
Wasn't planning on it.
The Hooligan Airsofter. Oh, Jeremiah, what do you have for me today? If I had $1 for every time a BB Warrior made Anthony sigh, I could pay for my college tuition, build an AR, and buy day noodles. You, sir, are correct.
Bam.
What was my time?
I don't know. About 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes.
I'll put a timer down there. We never hit 5.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Whatever.
I went through those pretty good.
Grab a real one now. Every once in a while, we just get a fucking
we have to make
metric shit tons. I'm like, let's clear.
We gotta.
Let's light the prairie on fire.
We gotta make it interesting.
And I literally did not warn him about that. So
no, this is all organic. This is all organic. I didn't even pre-read. Usually, I pre-read the questions. This video, I actually have not clicked on this video other than to let it play in the background to see how dumb I sounded.
The previous one? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like, I didn't read any of the questions on this one. Usually I go through and read them just to see how spurgy they are, so I can prepare myself like, ooh, this one's gonna be a rough one. I should research some stuff first.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't do it for this one, so this was all off the cuff. Jonathan Werner, good afternoon, gents. With the spike in volume, quality of gameplay footage on YouTube over the last 5 years or so, I have been seeing a ton of newer players recording their games. Why do you think these players put recording their gameplay as a bigger priority than having fun or working on getting better at a game? For April Fools, it would be funny to see a Pleb to Pro episode about internet grammar. Just saying, that actually might be a thing on my own personal time, just because God, some of you kids are so bad at it. Thanks for your time, John. Thank you, John. I think the big thing is that a lot of dudes, what they do is he's
pulling at me.
Oops. That 5-minute frenzy got me all for a loop, fam.
And got him all fired up.
The big thing is that a lot of people, especially a lot of younger guys, they like to emulate people that they feel are their heroes, or at least are in their social sphere they feel are higher tier than them. That's a really bad way to put that, but that's kind of what I'm going for. And so what they do is they want to emulate them by doing all the things that they do. So for example, if a young guy really likes watching Jet the Desert Fox videos, Jet's a really nice guy, by the way. Jet does that to make money. And so what they do is they try to do everything to emulate Jet because he's kind of their hero, and that's what they want to do.
Who doesn't want to get paid to go play BBwarz and do their hobby? I mean, everybody kind of thinks they can do that.
Yeah, and everybody wants to.
It's a lot harder than you think.
It's a lot harder, and if you're like us, you end up in a tier of mediocrity somewhere in the middle.
You plateau real early.
You plateau real early, and then you just hang out and you complain a lot. So what they do is they think that making sick montages on YouTube is the right form of validation. The thing with Jet is that Jet played Airsoft, went into the military, got good, came back, brought all of his skill set with him from both playing Airsoft before and being in the military and being a combat veteran. And so he's actually good, which is what makes his videos good. What makes his videos entertaining to people is that he gets out there and he smokes people. Hilariously so.
No.
Hilarious. He just smokes people. He's shown me some raw footage at his house of him just wrecking on dudes, and you're just oh, that's embarrassing.
He's I can't post this on YouTube.
But in all honesty, if you guys are out there making YouTube videos, if you want my honest, wholehearted advice right now, put the cameras down for a minute and go out and invest in some quality equipment and invest in yourself. Use the cameras not to put on YouTube to make money, but use the cameras to critique your own play style and fix mistakes that you catch yourself doing. One of the reasons I don't like being in the videos very much, especially gameplay videos, kind of the reason why I forget to use my camera a lot, is because I am overly critical of everything I do, so much so that I honestly always tell him to pull stuff out of the video that I catch myself doing. I'm I'm not holding my weapon right. I'm not clearing that corner correctly. I don't and I get overly critical of myself, and I tell him to pull that stuff out of the videos constantly. So it just got to the point where it was if I'm telling you to pull 80% of all the shit that I recorded out of the video, just don't put me in it.
Sorry.
It's just what it is. It's more of I'm self-conscious about it. So use it as a tool to get better first. And then, when you start routinely doing things correctly, then start making videos. Because then, your content will be good, and people will just click on it and watch you destroying people.
Yeah. Just make that not your main goal every time you go out to play.
You should be you have fun and learn.
That's the biggest thing is if you're just get an SOP going for making sure your SD cards are cleared, batteries are charged, everything's in working order, and then just get everything set and make sure things are mounted down properly, make sure you don't have stuff falling out, breaking off. So then all you really ever have to do is turn it on, hit play, and go. Because the biggest thing that can impede you having a fun day and then subsequently maybe the people around you is you dicking off and your camera beeping or you not helping your buddies take a room because you're switching your battery or your SD card out. Like, just make sure you're square on that.
Yeah, make sure all your equipment is nice and quality. Make sure that you have a good skill set, and make sure that when you edit your videos, this comes from a guy who's a graphic design artist by trade, and from a guy who does photojournalism by trade. Like, the type of content and the quality of that content is so important for you to actually get anything out of all of the time that you spend actually recording it and editing it.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that the subject matter that you're putting out there is good. You have to make sure that it's put together well, it's edited well, it's shot well. You have to have good camera angles, and that's a lot of work. And like, really, what I really would love you guys to actually focus on to start with is just going out and having fun. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be about making money, man. Go have fun.
Go out and have fun, and just your camera happens to be recording, and that's when you get the best stuff.
Yeah, go have fun, man. Go enjoy yourself. Don't break yourself, because Jet does that to make money.
Yeah.
Like, don't break yourself off trying to be him. Just be yourself.
The OG Canadian, for real. Hey, Amped. Out here from the middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
You're not Canadian.
Thoughts on or tips on how to get a local field started up? I've never ran a field, so not really. But my main question is, would you personally own custom-made combat pants, taking standard BDUs, adding external not cry knee pad inserts, or combat tops, along with this thoughts on taking ghillie suit material and sewing it onto multicam so as it would be on the back side of a top and trousers. When you're belly down, you have a ghillie on top. Hashtag Amped Empire. Hashtag Supreme Leader Anthony.
Aw. I'm actually Glorious Leader Anthony, not Supreme Leader Anthony. Supreme Leader Anthony was my grandfather.
Half of our uniforms are like custom made and custom cut, so like yes.
When you get to the point where you're at where we're at, where you know how to build a really good gun and you know how to like have your gun not be your issues anymore, you start transitioning your spending power over to getting nice kit and custom kit and kit that works for you for the situations. And so like you acquire and build up vast like catalogs of stuff. Like,
it's upsetting.
It is upsetting. And like him and I right now are going on a purge to take our significant others and be able to afford Christmas presents.
I'm on the Hop Up app selling stuff. Go buy it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have him. I'm probably gonna get on there too and start selling stuff too. So look out. I'll sign it. I'll put dicks. I'll draw dicks all over stuff for you.
I had like half the dudes have me like ask me to sign it. I'm like, dude, you bought a pistol. He's like, can you sign it? It's just going on my gun wall. I'm like, I'm giving you dick glitter.
Yeah, you're getting dick glitter too. Though we do love the love, actually. But
no, it really is awesome. Like when
it's flattering. It's actually very flattering.
All the packages I've sent out, I try to put like random like patches or like goodies in there because like you're buying something of mine that I have no need for and it's helping me out. So make sure you guys at least enjoy it.
Yeah.
But what the hell were we talking about?
I'm getting very Asperger's right here. Just give me a second.
The reds can't touch the yellows.
I'm making a pattern. But my thing is that like when it comes like one thing you learn very quickly when you're like building your own custom, because I used to stitch my own gear sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you're like building custom plate carriers and doing stuff like that. Like what you realize very quickly is none of your ideas are original.
No.
None of the things that you're thinking.
Really is.
None of the things that you think are like, man, that's a great idea. I should do that. Like someone's already done that.
Yep.
Someone's already done that.
But yeah, we already have a lot of custom things made, and a lot of it is kind of cry cut. I am intrigued by like the cry ghillie top, like it's the shoulder and like hood. And
I want to get one of those so
like
bad.
Leafy suits. I know leafy suits are on the rise right now, but
especially in Russian gear.
I'd never get like an actual like sniper ghillie back made or a full one. No,
I had one of those that I had custom made a long time ago for myself.
Yeah.
And it was just so miserable to use. And like I went through and actually like did like a class on like how to do it like
how to match your environment.
How to do it legit. Now I didn't go to sniper school. Don't misconstrue that. I wasn't like in sniper school, but I just did a civilian type class where they taught you how to do that stuff, and I paid like $40 for an afternoon, and we went there and we built our own ghillie suits, and they showed us all the little tips and tricks and how to tie it and how to cut it and do all that stuff and glue it and and it was fun, but like that thing was so miserable to wear. Now I would smoke dudes with it constantly, but it was so miserable to wear. No. Now the leafy, like the Cry leafy top or the Russian leafy suits, those, all about those because that's only covering half your body. The part that sticks up when you look over. That's why we have the 3D covers on our helmets.
Yeah.
It's the like when you look up over something and it has this, it breaks up your head. But like, yeah, I would never wear a full ghillie top. It's just not my thing, man. I don't. They're too heavy. Too heavy and hot and
yeah.
You get all stinky and
people never get them to match.
No, they never work right. Jacob Kaufman. Hey, keep up the great content and no bullshit question answering. Thanks, bro. Now one MSW question. Welcome to the Amped Airsoft Ask Amped Airsoft at MSWQuestions.com hour.
No, that's later tonight.
That's gonna be later tonight on the live show. Now one MSW question and then one real gun question. So Anthony, Matt, and the guest. How prevalent are SCAR rifles for NATO, and if so, which variant? Let's do that first. So the most prevalent SCAR variant that I see is the SCAR Heavy. By far. Like the SCAR Light, I've only seen a handful of them versus like SCAR Heavies. I've seen lots and lots of SCAR Heavies. Almost all of them are flat dark earth. I've almost never seen a black one. And almost all of them, honestly, are, I'd say, like a 60-40 split between VFC SCAR Heavies and recoil shocks. Tokyo Marui recoil shocks. I've only had in my platoons one gas blowback SCAR user. So that's a thing.
They're kind of prevalent, but
I'd say
not heavily.
I'd say like there's probably 2 to 3 per platoon. Like out of a 40-man platoon, that's not a good ratio if you're comparing it to like AR-15s, but like it is what it is. Opinions on the actual SCAR. If you've shot one, I just shot one and it felt bulky. Definitely enjoy the content. Looking forward to seeing more videos from y'all. I have shot plenty of real steel SCARs on the other hand, and I love them. I love them because they recoil so soft, especially the 308, the 7.62. It recoils surprisingly soft, and it's an incredibly accurate rifle. Holy crap! Like, I was shooting sub MOA groupings with a SCAR Heavy at like 250 yards with a Spectre DR on it. That thing was just like, boom. Like, I was like, holy shit, this thing doesn't miss. I miss. This thing doesn't miss. Those are good rifles. They're expensive, though. They're way too expensive. Way too expensive.
Phoenix CHT. Or did he not spell Phoenix wrong?
I honestly don't remember how to spell Phoenix.
What do you guys recommend using for camera battery power for longer games? Question mark. ... reply. Just get a
like a
USB cable and like a 10G charging pack, extra battery pack, and throw it on the back of your helmet with a Wilson West counterweight pouch.
Yeah, put it in a counterweight pouch.
Or battery pack. And those are specifically fitted for like the G&G ones or anything closer to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we carry the G&G battery and we can get the 10G one in.
Internet Man. Oh no, we have found
him.
The Internet Man. Internet Man. Hey, just wanted to know what you guys think about other roles other than riflemen. Grenadiers, auto riflemen, machine gunners come to mind. Do you think some of the gear and equipment is over the top, or does it provide an advantage? Okay, so what we're going to do is...
What's the difference between an auto rifleman and a machine gunner?
So, there's an automatic rifleman. An automatic rifleman carries...
Are we talking about an IAR?
No. An automatic rifleman is a... basically, typically, it's 99% of the time, especially in the U.S. military, an automatic rifleman is a guy who uses a belt-fed or magazine-fed light support weapon, typically of the M249, Mark 46, or IAR variety. Those are automatic riflemen. And then the guys who use the 240 Bravos or Mark 48s, those are considered medium machine gunners. So there's that difference right there, just for people who didn't know that. So there is a automatic rifleman, or as a lot of video game people call it, a support gunner.
I learned something.
But that's an automatic rifleman, and then there's a medium machine gunner. The big difference is the caliber. So like a 240 or a Mark 48 uses the 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO round, which is equivalent to the civilian 308. That is a substantially larger bullet than the 5.56 millimeter bullet that comes out of the AR-15, M16, M249. But automatic riflemen have the added advantage of those rifles being slightly more accurized because they fire a lighter round, and usually they have a higher cyclic rate, which means they can put more rounds out in a given amount of time. And it's easier for them to carry more rounds because the bullets themselves are physically smaller and lighter. Yeah. But anyway, so the differences in different roles in Airsoft. So riflemen are always going to be your bread and butter. Riflemen are the dudes who assault through rooms. Riflemen are your dudes who take objectives. Riflemen are your dudes who get up in dudes' faces and put barrels to beef. Riflemen are the dudes who are on point. That's what riflemen do. Riflemen are your jack of all trades. Grenadiers are guys who use basically M203s, for lack of a better term. M203s, 320, 40 millimeter grenadiers, basically. That's what the term is now. Back in the day, it actually used to mean guys who would have big handfuls of hand grenades, and they would go run and throw hand grenades at people. That's all they would carry, is hand grenades and like a trench club. They would just go throw hand grenades at dudes. That's all they would do. That's where the original grenadier comes from. And then you have like designated marksmen. Yeah. Usually you have one of those per squad or one of those per platoon. And a designated marksman usually is carrying a highly accurized rifle or a rifle that is of a different caliber, a higher caliber. So that's your SR-25 gunners, SPR gunners. Some of them use M16s or M4s that have heavier profile barrels and better optics or better trigger packages to facilitate more accurate shooting, and bipods, stuff like that. But that's your designated marksmen. Now, in Airsoft, the problem that you run into is that all of the guns have to hit chrono limits of certain levels in order to be safe to play with. And that really hampers a lot of the special roles in Airsoft. So, like, for example, like a designated marksman rifle really doesn't shoot that much further than a regular rifleman. I can cover the distance.
Most games like 100 FPS, 150 maybe.
150 maybe. Now, if you take into account that usually your BB loses about 100 FPS within the first 10 to 15 feet outside the gun, that difference is really kind of negligible at like 100 feet. Mm-hmm. So then you're really not getting a huge percentage more gain. You're not getting 100 FPS gain. You're not getting 100 feet gain because you're shooting 100 FPS hotter. You're just getting a percentage more. So there's certain roles that obviously lose out at Airsoft because they can't really be accurately represented. The ammo isn't heavy enough. The guns aren't powerful enough. So the designated marksman rifle or the sniper is one. I do always facilitate the idea that machine gunners in all forms of Airsoft are highly, highly useful. Mm-hmm. As long as you're not going to like scrub level pickup games where everyone's using high caps and everyone's shooting full auto. Like if you're going to any kind of like serious milsim game, a light machine gunner or a medium machine gunner are always useful for being able to lay down large volumes of fire and cover areas. You can put like a saw gunner up on like a second story window and he can just own a street. Mm-hmm. Like that's his. Like he can fire enough rounds and gun enough people down that no one's going to come out in the open and deal with him. Like he's just got that. And at Milsim West, they actually provide for an FPS boost to medium machine gunners so that they can get a little bit more range out of their guns than the saw.
That helps mimic kind of a 5.56, 7.62.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. I am like discussing with Josh off and on about maybe like changing some of those rules and giving them more of a purpose.
Yeah, makes sense.
But that's kind of cool. And then you have your Grenadiers. Grenadiers, I think, are only useful in Airsoft if they're using tag rounds.
Fun pyro.
Because the thing is that you're not getting the actual area of effect denial and range of a 203 with like shower shells or foam rockets or anything like that. They're just not effective and they're not realistic to what you're trying to do. So basically, if you're going to do a Grenadier role, you should do tag shells. But do I think all of those roles are important? Yes, to an extent. I just think that the way the rules of the game are set up don't necessarily always represent, different games don't always represent the roles correctly. And it kind of like disenfranchises the people who choose to do those a little bit.
Yeah. Zavvy and Groff, have you seen people run shotguns at Milsim events?
Yeah.
Yes, but just literally segueing off of that one, it's they don't have, like you can't use an airsoft shotgun to like blow a door hinge off or something. So it's like you can use them, and if you shoot somebody with a BB out of an airsoft shotgun, they're dead by the rules of airsoft. But like, I think it like more heavy duty extreme milsims. You don't see it really because there's no point. But like kind of mid grade ones, you'll see them just because it's lulzy.
Like it's once again goes back to that same thing. Like because of the soft part of airsoft, where the safety is involved, you don't get to really accurately represent how a shotgun works. Like you don't get to like go up to a door and blow the hinges off and boot the door off the frame. You don't get to round a corner and literally plant a dude on his back by smashing him in the chest with a shotgun. Like you just don't get to do that. And so it disenfranchises the breacher role.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't get me. They're hilarious when you hit somebody with 3 rounds, especially like gas powered ones.
No, yeah, it's funny.
People just drop.
I love it when people wind up because it's still the same joule limit as all the other guns. It's just three of them hitting you at once. Like, it's just funny. Makes me smile.
Hit it, boss.
But yeah, I think that's the problem with airsoft is that it can't really accurately represent certain types of
that's the
certain types of role. Because I would love, because that's the thing too about clearing rooms.
I love a master key.
I would love with like to blow the door off a hinge.
Yeah.
And then boot a door open and then have pyro actually like eliminate players in a room. Because like the lot of problem is like they'll hide behind a cardboard box or a piece of plywood and be like, I'm safe. I'm like, no, if a real hand grenade went off in here, let's say hypothetical, real hand grenade went off in here, even though none of the shrapnel hit you, you'd be fucked up, and you wouldn't really have the ability to accurately return fire as a dude burst through that doorway and put 5 rounds in your chest. Yeah. You just literally couldn't do it. Like, it rocks your world in a whole different way that you just can't really describe. And airsoft can't accurately do that. People hide behind couches and they think they're bulletproof. Like, it's airsoft.
They are in the movies, man.
It has a gameplay mechanic to it that just it's kind of weak.
Fucking wall hack.
Yeah. Oh man, Titanfall wall hack. Don't even get me started. Hooligan Airsofter, sup dudes? Do you guys have any gear or guns that you really regret selling? Hashtag Rice Grew. Hashtag Never Forget Ryan Francis Bauer. What do you got?
I don't know because I never really. So, you know what? Yeah, it's not anything crazy, but I do slightly regret selling my Mitch 2002 to Bauer because then he immediately flipped and sold it. It was a replica, but it was an OG, like...
It was one of the nice replicas.
It was a really nice one that was like a really nice hard, like, fiberglass shell and everything.
It had like a thick one that was heavy too, so it was actually weighted.
Because as soon as I got rid of that, and then like a couple months go by, and then like all these impressions are starting to flow by, and I'm like, crap, that would have been real useful.
That would have been really helpful.
It's forgetty now, so...
It's mom spaghetti.
Yeah, I've just kind of recently gotten into, like, digging through all my crap that I just don't use anymore and realizing, like, this is just taking up space, so I need to get rid of it.
I hoard so much of it. I don't really sell a whole lot of it. Like, I don't actually... My wife makes fun of me all the time for, like, how much of it I do buy, but the thing is I really don't buy that much stuff. The problem is that I don't get rid of it, so the collection just keeps growing, and to her it seems like...
Yeah.
Like, I haven't bought a new airsoft gun in 2 years.
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why she's like, do you really need another? I'm like, another airsoft gun? Fuck, I haven't bought one in 2 years. And I wear them out. I use them so much that they fall apart. Like,
getting uppity.
Like, damn, I had to get rid of my Crytek because I blew the receiver apart. Like, GG, no re. That one's dead. It's time to rebuild something else.
There we go. Gun Love 3R64. Thanks for answering my crappy comment, guys. Serious question for Anthony. Where did the term re come from? Feel free to not answer that if you want.
We can't tell you what re means exactly because then it won't be cool anymore.
Only the cool kids know.
Sorry, man. You'll have to discover that one on your own.
Magic Toaster. Hey, Amped, what's your opinion on the Retro Arms split gearbox? Seems like it's amazing for HPA since it holds the gearbox and hop up in perfect alignment, but is this too good to be true? I think it's actually pretty awesome. It disappeared for a while, and I think they're just now starting to come back. I mean, who did an install with one? It wasn't Kurt, but somebody did that, and it seems like it would be definitely a good idea for HPA, because you have the retro hop, and you love it.
I love the retro hop.
I have to install.
The retro hop that comes with the split gearbox is purposely made for that, so it locks in.
It clamps in, so like it has like perfect air seal past the actual gearbox.
Mm-hmm. Everything's perfect there.
It was pricey though, so I mean, like if you if you want to drop the cheddar to get a really nice shell, especially if you're just doing a drop in it, I mean, go for it. But
I think there's an obvious benefit to it because it is like it
solid.
solves a lot of alignment issues and it solves a lot of like stuff. There's obviously like a benefit to it. I just don't think that a hugely reinforced CNC machined like heavy duty gearbox like that is really useful in an HPA build. I think you're wasting a lot of its potential. Mm-hmm. But if you have the disposable income, it will actually do really well. The hop-ups in them are very good. The air seal will be very good. Like, it will work well. It'll work incredibly well. But I just don't know if, like, you'll be getting the full potential out of that money. It's really good for AEGs because since they're so tough and since it splits apart into two pieces, that allows you to, like, work on the gear sets and stuff like that without having to take apart the upper half of it and worry about the spring or anything like that. You can just leave all that together still, and or like you can take apart just the upper part and not have to worry about your gears and stuff and all that falling apart and having to re-shim it. You can just pull your piston out if you strip your piston and put a new piston in. It's made more so for maintenance than it is for anything. It's cool. It's definitely really cool, and we get them in on the regular, and then they disappear, and then they come back.
I think they disappeared for like a year.
Yeah, they were gone
retro,
for a while.
I think. I don't know. Judging from their like Instagram, they must have got a bunch of new machines, or they moved or something. I don't know.
They're redesigning the hop-up already too. They're already on a Gen 3 hop-up. So it's different than the one I have, even than the one you have.
Yeah, mine's still in package.
Yeah, so I have one in package, and I have one installed on a PDI build, and it shoots real good. J Money Gaming. Hey guys, how's it going? I have something to say about HPA versus AEG. I think a lot of people complain about HPA shooting hot or whatever, but that can be fixed by tournament locks and FCU locks, so if an AEG is shooting hot, a player would most likely have to disassemble their guns to change parts, assuming it isn't a quick change spring system. So I guess where I'm going with this is, do you think it would be easier for everyone to just move toward HPA guns for ease of regulation at fields, to stop complaining and hate on the HPA users?
No.
Here is my thing about cheating and stuff like that. There are two problems with the HPA versus AEG versus gas blowback cheater like conundrum. There's two parts to it. First of all, one of them is that sometimes there's just really bad shitbird people. Magic, wow. So sometimes there's just really bad shitbird people, and they suck. And those people are
who. The thing is that
they just suck.
Rules,
some of them, that's part one.
Rules are a thing because of one bad apple ruins it for everybody. Like, there's only a reason. Like,
9 people out of 10.
Yeah.
9 people out of 10 don't want to be an asshole to the other human beings around them, and they just want to be fun and be a part of a social circle. 9 out of 10.
That's the whole thing. Is like in society, everywhere, how rules, religion, everything is always changing because the people who want to break the rules to do whatever selfish thing they want to do will find a way to do it. So now, you can do tournament locks. Mm-hmm. You can do FCU locks. You can make sure people's weight is changed. You can do RPS locks, but they won't call hits. They'll play dirty. They'll find ways around stuff. Like, people will always find ways around it if they really want to.
And then my other part to that is the more important part. And the more important part to me is that it goes on the community itself and the field owners who run fields or event hosts that run events and stuff. They really need to become educated on how basic physics works and how basic, like, this is like 8th grade physics we're talking about. Like, it's not complex. It's not complex at all. And, like, they really need to educate themselves on how this stuff works. Like, I can't count how many people, like, how many places, it happens all the time, everywhere we go, every time I hear about this, I just see it all the time. Where, like, a field owner is like, okay, I'm chronoing all of my players at 400 with a 2.5, and then but HPA users have to chrono at 1 joule. And I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Or like when they have different chrono standards for different types of guns and like all of this stuff. Like, basically what it is that there's a lot of really ignorant, dumbass people who do ignorant, dumbass shit, and then people get hurt not because they're trying to cheat, but just because there is no rules in place, or they just are unknowledgeable about how things work. So I don't think anybody should be restricted on whatever platform they want to run. If you want to run a high-end AEG, you should be able to do that. You want to run an HPA gun? You should be able to do that. You want to run a gas blowback? By all means, dude, run a gas blowback.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to run whatever you want because it's your money. You're spending it on what you want. Get what you want. But I think that field owners and players really need to become educated and stop being kind of mentally soft and actually, like, learn how all of this stuff works and, like, learn it. Learn how to chrono. Learn how to, like, understand how these different systems work so that then you can put some nice actual regulation in place that makes it okay for everybody. Like HPA users shouldn't be separated from gas blowback users because of this reason, or gas blowback users shouldn't be separated from AEG users because of this, or AEGs shouldn't be not allowed to play with this because of that. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. If people knew how this shit worked, which it's all on the internet, like, guys like us put this stuff out on the internet for people all the time.
Almost.
Like, well, as much as we can when we're not busy. Sorry, Jewel Video. Rest in repperonis.
It'll happen.
It'll happen eventually, maybe never. But like, that's the thing. Like, that's my biggest complaint about the entire thing. It's that people are so uneducated about how things work that, like, they gain these. It's like, it's basically the same equivalency of people who treat other human beings like crap because they're ignorant and stupid. Like they're not educated, though they have, like, this prejudice in them, and they just use that to, like, treat things like crap, and that drives me nuts. So people need to get smart first before we start worrying about, like, what people use. End rant.
There you go.
That one got real wordy.
A lot of these, like, folded, so there's, like, way more in here than there should be. Or, like, that we're missing, I think.
Oh.
No. Jack Largan, what type of cold weather gear do y'all recommend? I'm going to seize Grozny in January. I don't know what that is. The hashtag. And since I live in Mississippi, I don't typically invest in much cold weather gear, so I don't really know what's the best for your money. Thanks for the help, and see you in January.
That depends on how much you want to spend, man. Because, like, when you start buying, like, high-end cold weather gear and stuff like that, like...
Well, that's the thing is, like, if he's in the South and doesn't really use it that often, like, it's
foreign concept to him,
you
yeah.
put yourself in kind of a weird spot. Easiest thing I would say is look at a surplus store and get some...
Polypros.
Get some Polypros, and you might get lucky. There might be some...
Get
like,
some PCUs.
Some PCUs and multicam or UCP if you don't give a crap about.
Or gray.
Yeah. Or, yeah, they do have UCP. You know what I mean.
They do have UCP ones, though, too. Very rare.
That's going to be your best option. Because, like, if you start looking at Arc'teryx and Beyond Clothing and stuff, you're going to be up in, like, the $200 range for a jacket.
Yep. Just a coat.
Yeah.
You could get the $400 Cry coat that is only your arms. Because your plate carrier, so that way you can access your plate carrier.
Oh, my God. Yeah, just look at surplus. That's going to be your easiest option, especially if you're going NATO.
Can has cow. Hey lads, big news from Australia. We might be making Airsoft legal finally. Granted, there are some restrictions, but it's a start. Now I ask you, because these restrictions are only allowing AEGs, so what would you recommend to start with? Finally allowed to play. A nice reputable brand, like a VFC, a Crytac, a GMP.
You just look at, like, VFC or Crytac, yeah.
If you want an M4. If you want...
Figure out what... If
you want an AK, I actually really love Cyma AKs.
I'd love to see what their...
E&L AKs are great.
I'd love to see what their actual rulings are.
You'd have to see what your laws
AEGs are.
Let's do another short one, because that one's...
If it's only AEGs, there's probably, like, FPS restrictions and everything, too, so...
Yeah. Oh, it's Ben.
There you go.
Benjamin Glazinski. After this weekend, I think a pleb to pro for clearing a building would help people. Then they know what to do work on before coming out to a large game. I get the situation varies, but a basic idea would be solid. Thanks again for the BBwarz and chill at TKI. I love you, Ben. We had a good time. We had a great time at TKI. But yeah, like, I was actually really super surprised that when I went out to TKI in California, in the land of the speed softing and room clearing and CQB, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
How bad people are at, like, watching intersections when they move across the street, clearing buildings, like, moving room to room. It was, woo, lads. It was hard. It was real hard. Like, And I'm not even like a super bang bang like ninjutsu warrior like army guy. Like I was just a normal dude, and like even me, I'm sitting there just like, WT fuck are you doing right now? Like what is this? What are you? What is life? Why is this happening? What is I couldn't, and I actually on Saturday morning, like we had one engagement where it was so embarrassing that like I pulled everybody who was there aside, and like I went through some common sense room clearing adjusted for BBwarz. So like reconning by fire, because you don't have to worry about over penetration of rounds going through walls, so you can just round the corner shooting and just grease a dude by making him tuck further and further into the corner.
That's what I like doing.
Yeah, that's what I love doing that, because in BBwarz I don't have to worry about shooting my friends through the wall, so I just fucking through the corner. But like we did a whole class on it, and I wish I would have gotten the entire platoon there. I only got like half of them there, and like we went through and did like. We went into, because like the whole facility was like buildings, so we took the building that was like right there at our PB, and like I just made them run through it, and I would walk with them and be like, okay, so now you went this way, what's wrong? And they're like, I don't know. And then I'm like, look, you can see this way, but you can't see right here, right? And you're now standing in the middle of the room. Did you even look in this corner as you came around? And he's like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah,
you did.
So then I would like point out like if the understanding, like if one guy's looking one way, one guy has to look the other way. And if the guy who's in the front is always trying to clear the space that he hasn't seen already, you should be keeping him safe from behind. Yeah. And doing stuff like that. Like it was rough, dude. It was super frustrating, and like I just was in shock, really. I was in shock.
It happens. Last one. OP Airsoft. So Thunderbees, what do you think of them, especially at events like MSW or AMS? We are not allowed to use them at my field, home field. He's from Germany, because of loud sound, walls could come down. What is your field made out of? Like paper mache? They used to be pretty cool back in the day, but ever since we got our hands on like the fun pyro,
yep,
they have their uses in like smaller fields and fields that are geared more towards like a younger group. They are cool. They have a loud sound. They're pretty easily attainable. They're easily maintained and refillable.
They're reusable.
Exactly. They do add to the game. I know dudes will sometimes make them actual grenades by putting BBs and stuff in there. So
it doesn't really work that well.
Yeah,
but people
not
try
very well. They have their need, but like especially like the higher end games, like Milson West and AMS. My big thing, besides the fact that they usually don't count as a kill, is having to go back for them.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea. I love being able to just toss a grenade and then move on. Like if you can toss a grenade, 4 guys bust in, clear a room, and then you're out the door again. You don't have to like run to the corner of the room or dig under a couch for your Thunderbee because when they go off, they go somewhere.
Your Thunderbee, tornado,
they disappear.
Insert random reusable grenade here.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing about pyro, is that pyro is supposed to expedite, like in the real world, pyrotechnics and hand grenades and stuff like that, flashbangs, those are supposed to expedite the speed and violence of action that you have on your side during a gunfight. So like if you have to worry about going back for something or pausing your flow of movement to collect up your equipment, like that automatically is ruining any advantage that equipment had given you.
Tempo that you had.
Your tempo, you're completely destroying it. So that's why like I love at MSW just going P grenade, and then I know it's expensive and it does add up, and dudes who do it a lot, like they know, like Reasoner and you and like dudes who dudes who throw lots and lots of pyro, they know it's expensive, but
it's
like
fun though.
But like you when you do it like that and you do it in a realistic tempo, all of a sudden then you become way more effective, because now you're using pyro in the correct way. You're storming rooms. You're using that violence and that speed boost that it gave you, that delay in the enemy's movements, that fear of instant death. So they have to move from the pyro. Like that gives you such an advantage, and having to use like reusable pyro and constantly go back for it just doesn't. And then the big thing is that at MSW, because people are so used to real pyro, half the time they literally, I don't even think people are cheating. I actually don't think people are cheating at all. I just think they legitimately do not notice tornadoes. Like a tornado goes off and they're just like, what was that?
Somebody drop a mag?
Yeah, it's like someone dropped their speed loader somewhere. Like they're just like,
somebody just throw a speed loader in
like
here?
The guys who go to those games regularly, they just don't know. Like they just like
it shades us, because then we'll go to like a local field and a kid will throw like a
like,
tornado in, and like,
you didn't call it.
It'll like blow up in the room. We're like,
Really?
Wait, what happened? Did somebody throw a handful of BBs in here?
Like, what just happened?
We're just sitting there like,
I guess
sorry.
I guess we're dead. And then we'll, like, walk off the field. And I would just sit there and be like, man, I wish you would just actually blow me up. Like, because, like, it's way more visceral and it gets the point across a lot better how you died.
Yeah.
So I don't really like them, especially for, like, large nat ops. I don't like reusable pyro at all.
Yeah.
I think everybody should just, if you're going to that level of game, you should just suck it up, bite the bullet, and just fucking get the expensive explosive pyro. And just deal with it. Because if you're already spending that much money to go to the event, you might as well take it that last 2% and just buy, like, 3 or 4, like pyro grenades. So that you don't have to use them in every room, but, like, when you know you can get someone with it or use it to your advantage, have it and throw it. It's just, you trust me, you'll have way more fun that way.
Yeah.
So for you American guys at AMS or MLSMWest, enjoy your pyro. Sorry for all you international dudes who don't get to use them in your various not free countries.
But yeah,
so that's it. We're good. That was a pretty decent one.
You rambled for a bit.
We ranted on. I ranted. Sorry, I might be a negative Nancy and hurts people's feelings again.
Why is Anthony so moody today?
Anthony was very moody. I'm like, I'm passionate. I'm Italian, and I talk with my hands.
Why do you think he's always holding a gun? It's so he doesn't
so it keeps me from flailing.
It keeps his attention.
Yeah.
It's like a kitten.
Yeah,
Like a big bowl of catnip.
It's my friend. But yeah, so. I'm gonna be getting one of these because I'm building Polish kit correctly. So for all you guys who talk shit on the internet about me being farb,
you are.
I'm cool with it because I make money doing this.
Got him.
Got him. So yeah, so it start looking for me to join the 416 club. Finally, the club I've been avoiding for years.
Hopping on after it was cool.
I'm doing it ironically. I'm literally the hipster of 416s. So are you, actually. High five.
I'm in my comfort zone right now.
High five. Some new stuff we got going on. So we got the new CZ805 Brens from ASG.
Look for a video on that quick.
They're a pretty mediocre video. The video's mediocre. But these are pretty cool. I like these.
Wording backwards.
Phrasing. These are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the build quality and all that stuff.
Solid.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it should be on our website. Hopefully by the time this is up, or
probably
very, very, very soon after.
I'm going to be taking, as this is recording, I'm going to be taking the photos tomorrow.
Yeah, boy.
So then, like, that I'll be handing that off to Kurt to put up on the website, so that should be up probably by the end of the week. We're also doing, for the rest of the holiday season, we're doing the Black Friday, Every Friday deal. This is our new thing. Basically, it went over really well with you guys, especially you guys who couldn't get the physical items that you wanted from Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was they went back and they bought gift cards. We were offering all of our gift cards on our website at the same price discount as the rest of the stuff. So we're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah.
So that way you guys can get gift cards at 15% off with the coupon code that will be on our website.
Mm-hmm. So I think
it's only on Friday.
Every Friday for 24 hours.
Yep. All the way up until January 1st. Whatever the last Friday is before January 1st is the last one.
It'll be like the Friday right before Christmas, so like the 23rd, I think. Whatever. But yeah.
But anyways, Black Friday, Every Friday.
You have 4 chances. The first one starting probably right as this video.
So for like, if you buy the $100 gift card, you're getting $15 off of that $100 gift card.
Yeah.
So it's like a 15% discount. Basically, what it allows you to do is that whenever, like, there's not a sale, you can use those gift cards.
Yeah.
And get your 15% off of the item that you want. Or you can use those gift cards in conjunction with another payment method, so you can get a little bit of money off that way as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. So that's going to keep happening. Get Oakley stuff. There you go. He probably bleeped out everything I just said, but just go get Oakley stuff.
Just if you...
Trust me.
Just go to new products. There's like 100 Oakley things.
Just go click on
cart.
Just go add it to cart.
You're welcome.
You'll see. I can't say it because Oakley's they're watching. And then also if you watched Spartan Leah's Unicorn Leah, sorry, because I've known her since Spartan Leah days. Sorry.
Oops.
But if you see her new video, there's also a discount code on there. So if you want to get some discount codes for some lucky viewers on that, I would watch that as well.
Hey.
Anything else new? We're getting a lot of new products, but like none of it's all still on its way.
Yeah, we got stuff on the way, so watch for more amped up reviews to come out. Should be having plenty of gameplay coming out towards the end of the year because we're lightening up a little bit on like gear reviews and everything. Yeah. So I got plenty of gameplay to work on.
Wes's kit video has
we
just
been
got
recorded. About half of that shot, and then his part 2 is coming very soon.
Maybe someday. It probably. might happen.
Maybe it's been done and I just didn't feel like putting it up.
That's fine because I don't fucking care. These are the only dudes that care. I recorded it already.
You guys don't know.
My end of the bargain has been set.
Yeah, boy. But yeah, let's get out of here.
I think we're good. So thanks for stopping by. Subscribe if you guys aren't. Please subscribe. If you have any questions for the next show, leave them down below in the doobly-doo, and I'll try not to hurt your feelings as bad next time. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So
get us on Instagram, Snapchat, and everything too.
Yeah, check out our personal accounts if you want to. I just repost a lot of stuff that he's taken pictures of me doing, so that's like.
If you ever want to hire me as a glorified Facebook profile taker, that's what I do.
That's what he does, man.
My rates are very negotiable.
Like his profile picture taking status is pretty fucking legit. Like
I should have made that my business model years ago. It could have been $100.
$100 error.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye bye. See you guys later. Bye 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 bye.